A soft spot for me now. The Masters took over the hearts of golf fans last week as Scottie Scheffler took home his second green jacket in just 3 years. But after his win, the headlines quickly changed as major news broke that star Rory McIlroy was close to a deal with the LIV Golf League. The PGA Tour and LIV agreed to merge about a year ago, but talks since then have kind of quieted down. Market Shares analyst Alex Burstein is here with the latest on the strange relationship between the two. Hey, Alex.
Bradley, at the end of the day, nothing ended up happening. Anyone who has watched golf or even just seen an episode of Netflix's Full Swing knows Rory McIlroy and the LIV Golf League are not the best of friends.
I still hate LIV. Like, I hate LIV. Like, I hope it goes away, and I would fully expect that it does.
While tempers have softened since that June 2023 clip, McIlroy made clear this week that he is with the PGA Tour for life. London-based newspaper City AM reported earlier this week that the Northern Irish golfer was closing in on an $850 million deal that would also give him a 2% equity stake in the Saudi-based LIV Golf League. McIlroy told the Golf Channel Tuesday there's zero truth to this, and he has never received an offer from LIV. This comes after LIV CEO Greg Norman followed McIlroy at the Augusta National last week for the Masters, where McIlroy finished a disappointing 22nd. The LIV versus PGA saga has been one with as many twists and turns as an amusement park. The timeline starts back around 2021 when in October Norman was announced as CEO of LIV Golf Investments. The LIV Golf Invitational Series launched the next summer, and top golfers like Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, and Brooks Koepka made the move to LIV. Meanwhile, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan suspended players who went to LIV. Two notables who stuck with the PGA, Tiger Woods and McIlroy. But LIV players were still able to compete in the majors like the Masters. Meanwhile, McIlroy became the de facto player voice of the PGA. Then, this past June, it all changed. The PGA Tour reached a framework agreement with the Saudi Public Investment Fund. McIlroy has taken a step back after the announcement. He now speaks more lightly of the LIV League, but has pledged his loyalty to the PGA.
But yeah, I mean, I'm obviously here today, and I'm playing this PGA Tour event next week, and I will play the PGA Tour for the rest of my career.
Alex, there's a lot of ways you could attack this, but let's just go surface level here. McIlroy, like you said, he's been the most vocal, most outspoken critic of LIV. You got to wonder how valid this actually is that he got the offer. But just in terms of the merger, are we getting any closer to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's been almost a year. That was last June when the initial reports of agreement came, and it seems like they're not any closer. There was some New York Times reporting earlier this week that said the two sides have been working but have not really been able to reach an agreement. There's two main points that there's been struggles with. The first one is there's really no valuation of what LIV is worth. These two leagues aren't trying for a merger, but in government records it would be more of a merger type thing, and they have no idea what LIV is worth. The other problem, when you look at the language of this deal, is how that LIV and PGA are going to cooperate together and just how the players are going to be able to play. We see in the Masters and in other majors that they play together, but looking at some other things, they're just very different. There's worries that a merger would possibly become a monopoly in the golf world, and the U.S. government doesn't want that.
So how have LIV golfers been playing recently?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the top names in the sport made the crossover to LIV over the last year. The big one this past December was Jon Rahm, who won the Masters last year, had more of a disappointing performance this year, but he's the most recent big name. But the league is expecting more big names to come over. If you look at the results from this past weekend, there was 8 golfers who made the cut for the weekend, and then they were able to eventually finish top 6 with Bryson DeChambeau.
It's also interesting when you factor in golf ratings have been dropping substantially. So you got to wonder, a lot of analysts think that this is a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some of the worst ratings that we've seen recently. It was the worst Masters performance minus COVID in 30 years. There's been a lot of problems with that, but there is a little less hostility between the two sides, so it'll be interesting to see if that changes anything.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today on Market Shares. Coming